Hey y'all, and welcome to Southland Piper. I'm your host Tim. Hope you're doing well today. Well, I have this BP June. Uh, it's a nice little pipe. Bull moose, bull cap, one of those two. But it's pretty dirty. A lot of carbon on the rim. So let's turn around to the workbench and get started. Well, let's see what we got to work with. A closer look. Pretty good bit of carbon. And that's pretty much a cone or funnel shaped bowl. Looks like they did some reaming. It's pretty thin up here at the top, but they just kind of pointed inward toward the bottom of the bowl and really made a real cone shape with it. The stem, a couple of bite marks there. Comes out just fine. Just your typical dirty pipe, but that's quite a bit of cake. It's almost totally blocked, just about. Let's get started. Well, let's see how easy this one will ream out. This is very hard cake. Let me continue working on it and I'll check back with you. Well, I got about half of the cake out, but it is just a really hard cake. So I'm going to back up and punt a little bit. I'm going to do a cotton ball and alcohol treatment on it, and that will help loosen up that cake. It's extremely hard for whatever reason. I'm not sure what they smoked, but it left behind a real hard cake. Okay, I've got my cotton inserted, and I just roll up a disposable earplug and put in there, and when it expands, it seals off really well. So those are nice and convenient. Used to be, you'll see some people use a Q-tip with a paper towel over the end, and then some plastic wrap, and these work real well. Just disposable earplugs. And if you get a little alcohol on the finish, that's fine too. I'll probably end up totally refinishing this one. And this will, help get out any ghosting or things like that, or if it's a sour pipe. But I'm mainly doing it to soften the cake. Now, while the stumble is soaking, I'm going to go ahead and drop the stem down into the oxidation cleaner. Um, like I said, not terrible, but it would benefit from having it done. All right, let that go a couple hours. Well, the stem wasn't too bad as far as oxidation goes, so let's let it soak about 2 hours. This oxidation cleaner, deoxidizer, I think they call it, is just some really good stuff. Saves a lot of time and work. Alrighty, looks like it got all the oxidation off just fine. Next thing we'll do we'll work on those tooth marks. A little heat, and then do some sanding and possibly some filing. I don't think we need to do any fill work. If I was to do any, it'd probably to benefit right there on the button. But we'll see. I used a little heat to raise up a couple of these marks, but got one here and one here and a few more on the bottom. So I'm gonna see if I can just sand these out. Filing and sanding is done. So next thing is to put it on the buffer. I tried to. We had some bite marks that came in, and right here at the button, and so I tried to redefine all that a little bit with the file. This one got a little thin on me, but I'd rather do that than add in some material that will show up. Um, Sometimes you get real lucky on the um, the color and the shading and everything, and it just about disappears. But that's only about 25% of the time. Usually, you can see anytime we add some material. It's been about 4 hours, so let's see if this softened up that cake any. See how well that seals. Good looking stuff. All right, let's see if we softened up. So still pretty hard. All right, I'm gonna break out another weapon. It won't take a second to use this, but this is a big rotary burr. I'm gonna go in there and smooth some things out. I've also got a smaller size that I'll try as well. But it's gonna be pretty aggressive. I just have to be careful. I'll show you the results. Well, after about an hour, I finally pretty well got it. It's still a little rough inside. I'll work on some more, but at least we're there. All right, let's put a little briar cleaner on this stubble. Tell you what, I didn't think I'd ever get that cake out of this pipe. It's just hard as concrete. Just get this top rim coated real well. Thick carbon on it. They have to treat it more than once. All right, we'll let that soak for 20 minutes. Got to scrub this down. This is just some water. Well, as stubborn as that carbon cake inside the bowl is to get out, I'm going to assume that the carbon on top of the rim is going to be just about as stubborn. So this is going to take more than one treatment, that's for sure. Not quite a bit, but there's some still left. Round two. Well, the carbon on top of the stubble is being very stubborn. I pretty well stripped out the dye off of this. And so now we're just going to have to do some fine sanding and using some other tools to try to clean out some of this rustication. But I've done about all it's going to do, I think, with the cleaner. There are a few flat spots that I definitely can work on. This is just going to be some slow sanding. This is a sand stick, You see them in nail industry as well. And so we'll see if we can get this cleared up a little bit, at least most of it, if not all of it. But want to save all the rustication we can. But there are some good spots that we can work on. Well, I tell you, this is taking some time. Spent just about an hour on the rim itself. So alcohol here, and I think this pipe's just going to have some battle wounds. That's just all there is to it. I've worked on this spot up here, a little dark spot, 2 or 3 times, and yeah, I think it's just going to. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Sometime an estate pipe is just an estate pipe, and so this was going to show some of it. All right, so I guess the next thing I'll do is decide exactly what dye I want to use on this stumble. I know a dark stain would help me hide some of this stuff, but we'll just go with a tan. Nothing too dark. Let's see what that'll look like down here. Yeah, I think that'll work. Did a pipe earlier with this tan, and it really came out red, more red than what this one is. So this one's coming out more tan, which is a good thing. That's what my intention was anyway. All right, we'll let that dry, and then we'll put it on the buffer. All right, the stumble is dry, so on to the buffer. Okay, the pipe is done. I think it turned out really well. The only problems I had was that cake inside that was so hard, and then all the carbon and a little char that was on top of the rim. But I think it cleaned up real nice. This tan, I think, looks good on it. I'm real happy with the pipe, the stems, and absolutely great condition. So this has been a good little project. Thank you for sharing your time with me today, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye.